Well, hello again. We're heading down to the yard to do some bus stuff today on this episode of Steve Stuff, but I'd like to welcome you to 1984 luxury on a budget. This is the interior of my 1984 Ford Laser Ghia. Back in 84, old mate bank manager would have bought one of these for his misso or his teenage daughter. My dad had one of these KB model lasers. It was a white one, but it was a GL, not the top wazzer like this one, and it was manual. But I had my P's when Dad had that car, and I drove it up to Queensland at Casino a couple of times. It was a great little zinger on the highway. So I decided I wanted one, but more of that later. First of all, let me show you around. LindaLoveLaser. She looks good from 20 feet away. She's got a few grandma dings in her. The guy I bought her off told me, or he blamed his mum, said she used to touch park with it. There are a couple of dents that I fixed up as best I could, a few scratches that I got a little touch-up paint, a couple of areas of rust that I kind of cleaned up and painted. It's a Monza red car, so very easy to get touch-up paint and things. Duplicolor do a tin of this colour, so you know, some chrome trim around the rain gutters and along the bumper, you know, give the bumpers a paint, the wheels a polish, and some white wall tyres, and she looks great, and I get a lot of compliments on this car. $800 is what I paid for her. A little bit of mechanical work. We've done some front end, we've done suspension, brakes. I haven't done that much actually. Didn't even need much for Rego. And just recommissioned her. Drove her down to Sydney from Taree. She went really well. Not exactly the fastest thing in the world, being a 3-speed auto. Likes to rev up higher in 4,000 revs. But she's a good car. I've done the, I blew a pooper valve on the transmission. What do they call it? A vacuum valve, which didn't take much to fix. It was 80 bucks or something. So apart from that, she's a really good runner and does well and keeps up with city traffic. So I really do enjoy owning this car. We're here at the yard right now, so let's get inside and get stuck into some bus stuff for this episode of Steve Stuff. So we're working on the Merlin today. I'll just take you up inside here and show you. I'm sorry about the mess, but I'm trying to protect the floor from getting dirty because I'm back and forth here with dirty, especially when it's raining, dirty feet and whatever. But what I've got here is areas of the floor. See how that's raised there? And it's because, see, the sun's hitting it right in that spot. Bit of water stages there. I've got leaks in that window. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that as well. But it'll clean up because I've used EVA. It's the boat flooring. That water stain will just wash away. But areas, there's a couple of them. A little area there. There's another one under that seat there. Just where the glue's failed. And I've got an idea to try and fix it. But obviously, before I can do that, I need to clean out the bus, at least the front half of it, so I can have a crack at this. It's mainly down here that it's happened, but as you can see, the sun comes through of an afternoon and hits in certain areas, and that's where the glue is failing. So I've got an idea to fix it, but first of all, let's get it cleaned out, get these seats out. So, geez, it's hot in here, I tell you, that was hard work. I didn't take the frames out because I've realised I'd have to undo the poles and I'm just not in the mood. So I can see here the worst of it, like that one there is pretty bad. There's another one along here. In fact, this side isn't too bad. There's an area there. But look at all them, I've got to give this a vacuum. I was away for 5 weeks over Christmas and she's gotten dirty. A couple there that need looking at, but this is the main one that annoys me the most. So I've got an idea to try and cut it along the length of the lift where it's risen and clean it out, glue it down. Now if the seam is really visible, if I can't make a good cut, I'm going to use my old friend, the aluminium strip, where he's sitting up there, which you can see I've used here before. So I'll sit down and I'll hydrate myself and I'll get cracking. Righto, so what I'm thinking, cutting along there, so there's the main part of it. So I'll push that down. You can push it down and make it stick, but it doesn't last very long. So I'll just try and, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know how this is going to go. So wish me luck, because once I cut it, there ain't no going back. It seems to be, yeah, okay. Sadly, it's got to be done because I can't just go living with, hope you can't see a bald spot. I can't just go on living with bloody these lumpy areas in the floor because A, it looks shit, and B, it drives me mental. So what's that done? Has that done anything? Now it's going to stick, isn't it? Okay, what's going to happen here? It's decided it's going to, see if I go wrecking that seam, it's going to, yeah, there it is. So, I might not need the strip, to be honest. If I can just get under there enough and get some glue in there, you know what? I'm just going to leave that for a bit. That's better. There we are. Oops, don't come out from under there. Now you can see how bad she is under there. So I'm not going to lift it if it doesn't want to come up, but right there, I'm going to give that a clean out and get some glue on it and try and get it to stick down again. Okay, I don't know if this bloody microphone's working or not. I'm trying to get these lapel mics to work and I'll test it and it's fine, and then when I record the bloody piece it hasn't worked. Anyway, so what I've done here, I've got some heavy duty contact. I used spray glue when I put this in, and obviously it hasn't given me a really good result, so I'm going to try this stuff. It's got to go on both sides. See if we can get a good coverage of it under there. Shit to work with. Hope you can see me alright. I'm still working out bloody camera angles and things. I'm a rookie YouTuber. Just don't know if this is going to work or not. We need a better tool than the one I've got. I don't want to dribble any of it on the good side of the stuff, you know. Oops. Along there. Righto, now. This isn't working. find some sort of spatula or something. Or maybe just use fingers. Ruin these gloves, but oops, gloves. Yep, there we go. That's that one done. It looks like it ate straight through it. So now the deal with this stuff is to let it dry for a bit, and then I'll stick one side down and see how it worked. Need more glue. Promised myself the next bus I buy, well, it's too late, I've already bought it. Doesn't need floors. I'm fairly certain it doesn't. I think it just needs a coat of some sort of bituminous floor paint and it'll be right. Alright, I'll go and get some more glue. Okay, I'm going to call this first attempt a fail, because as you can see where the cut is, she doesn't want to stick back down nice and flush. See that? Obviously when it's cut, it's stretched itself a little bit. Same there. So that'll be noticeable. But the old mate, aluminium strip, will hide that for me. I'll go and cut a piece to size, obviously. So the good news is the glue looks like it's stuck, I think. I mean, obviously, I'll double check it. This is going to be a 2-day job, I'd say. So it's kind of disappointing because I don't want to have, you know, a piece of this metal strip every 10 centimetres along my floor. I'll have to sit down and have half a beer and think about it. And I'll go and cut a metal strip for this and I'll give that water stain a clean. I've been fiddling around waiting for the other glue to dry. And I found a couple of other bubbles near the side there. What I've done is I've cut them with the grain. Now I did another one over there and you can hardly see it. I think that's going to work because these, they're all underneath seat cushions. So when the seats are in, your eye won't be drawn to that. And you can also see there how that, I mean there's a lot of shadows and stuff, but how that water stains come out just with a little bit of wipe over. So I'll see how these ones, I'm just waiting for the contact to dry and we'll have a look. That bit of strip there, it's just sitting there for now. I've got to drill some holes and screws. I'm not going to do that now. It's just too blooming hot. You can see it's working though. There's a couple there that I've run with the grain. The cuts, you can see the cuts, but with the seat cushions are in, you might not. And there's another one I did here that I had to go against the grain, and I don't know if it's wanting to stick or not. The trouble is, there's laminate flooring under it, and I think the glue is pulling on the laminate so well that it's lifting a layer of the laminated floor. Because when I cut that before and cleaned it out, there were little bits of timber like this coming off. So anyway, we'll see how that one goes tonight, and when I come back tomorrow, see what sort of other work we need to do. Obviously it needs a good clean out, but I'm kind of happy with that one, and that strip doesn't look too out of place. And just before I go, you can see here, I'll get down low enough, so you can see the bubbles in the flooring, and you can see why. So look at that one, can you see that? That there, it's 4:30 in the afternoon, And look at that sun. It's belting down onto that floor. I don't think it's helping. But we'll have a go at this side tomorrow. That's where we're going to leave it today. I've had enough. I worked this morning in my day job, and then I've been down here probably about 3.5 hours in this heat. It's really hot in there, and I think I've made some headway into the problem. I think that one that I cut against the grain under the seat, I think that's going to be a problem. I've worked out, it's a delamination thing with some of the floorboards, but also there's a couple of areas where it's lifting, and when I get underneath it, the floor, there's different levels. So when I was laying the flooring, I just thought, oh, it's going to stick. And obviously it hasn't. And the pressure on not having, the pressure on the carpet or EVA wanting to lift is greater than the pressure on the areas where it's sticking, and it's just failing. The sun's not helping, as you can tell, as well. So I'll go home and I'll have a think about it. I'll see how those ones perform overnight. If I get back in the morning and they're stuck down good, that's where I'll leave them. If they're lifting again, I'll have to, I don't know, get in there and try and do it with a bit more glue. And there's a few other areas that I want to attack. There are other jobs I need to do on this bus. I've got the radiator out. It's been around the country at the moment. The latest quote is $8,000. First of all, it went out to the back of Dubbo, and he said he couldn't do it and sent it back to me, Warren or somewhere it was. Then I took it to Natrad here in Granville, who were recommended to me. They took one look at it and said, we're going to send this to Adelaide, and that's where it is at the moment. They're trying to work out if the tanks can be fixed or they need to be remade. But the trouble is, it's a heavy-duty radiator that was made by Kirkland's to put on this bus especially, so I can't even get one from the UK because they're different. And it's a very, very rare bus. There's only 51 of them came into Australia. So we'll see how we go, $8,000, but I'll do a video of putting that back in when it does eventually come back. And we're very close to going and getting the other one from Maitland. Plane load of people heading off to Malaysia. So that'll do for now. Thank you again for watching. I'll come back in the morning and see how we go. Well, it's the next day and it's another stinker. A little bit of a breeze today though, so hopefully it won't be too putrid inside working in the heat. I don't know how long I'm going to last. But I've just unlocked the doors and we're about to go inside. And you are going to see the results of yesterday's work at the same time as I am. So let's check it out. Okay, where did I even, oh yeah, there. That's held down nicely. You can see the seam there where I cut that, and it's still stuck. Other one there, still stuck. Another one there, still stuck. I'm going to call that a success. And here is the one with the strip, and it is all still stuck. Very dirty. I left this one here with some weight on it overnight, so we'll see how this one's done. And it's held down under the weight. We'll see if that lifts. Hopefully it won't. So there's a couple of little ones. Now that I know that the seam works, there's a few I want to do up along there. The whole thing needs a good vacuum. So there's a lump there. I'll do that one with a strip. A couple of little ones here. So I'm going to open some windows in here and get going. Had a little audio issue there a minute ago. Click, click. I hope that doesn't keep going. So here you can see I'm just waiting on this slit to dry. I've just been in there with a paintbrush this time. I was thinking about it last night. I was using that stupid piece of strip to try and get the glue up under there. And then there's this here that I have to do as well. When the rear seat cushion goes in that front seat, I'm going to put a strip on that, but it won't be as noticeable. I don't want it to look like I've got random strips running all the way up. So you can see there's a couple there just where the joins on each of the roll was made. Anyway, I think I can put up with the strips better than I can put up with floor that's lifting. So this is the last big one, and I've got it under there with the paintbrush and the glue. It's been sitting for about 5 minutes, so I think we'll start to see if we can get it to sit down along the seam nicely. I've worked out that if you push them together and down at the same time, they want to try and sit in together. So, like everything, it's trial and error. You mess one up, hopefully it's not messed up too bad that, oops, I bumped the camera. Sorry about that, that's the lapel mic hitting a seat frame. So that's going down. This is going to have a strip on it though, remember, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want to get it back in underneath there. See, that's not worked, so I can lift that up again. Try and get that to go down at the same time. If you can get them to kind of, as the glue starts to dry, it starts to get more difficult to work, but I might be making a butchery of this. But again, like I said, it's going to have the trim strip over the top. There we go. That's pretty good. Pretty good. And that's got a nice healthy dolloping of glue underneath there where that was lifting. There's nothing wrong with the floor underneath there. I think it's just the sun has been getting that. So as you can see, then what I'll do when I put my strip there, the strip will run down past the seat frame and join up with the strip on the central corridor thing. All done with the gluing, the screwing. Now I've just got weights sitting on them for around an hour or so. I'll pick all the weights up and show you the finished result before I put all the seats back in. I've got to mention these guys. I swear to God, these are just brilliant. Every time I go to the hardware, I grab a couple of packets of them. I'm like an old lady with tissue boxes in every room with these things. I've got them in the shed, at home, in the cars, in the ute. They are brilliant, and I am in no way endorsed by them. But try a packet, they're $5. Old mate's got his bus running next to me, but hopefully you can hear me okay. So there is the finished floor. The areas that have lifted are sitting down nicely. I'll keep them weighted again overnight. There's a little bit of a glue mark on there that should peel off once it dries. And then over this side, I didn't really touch that, but I'll fix that another time. But the areas that I did seem to be holding up nicely and holding down. There we go. So I'll put all the seats and everything back in. I reckon I could call that a job done. So there she is. I've put some weights down there. I'm going to put some weights on a couple of the ones where the sun might hit and not let the glue go off as well as it should. Seats are all back in and that's looking good. The floor is looking better than it was. There's no parts that have risen. They all seem to be gluing and staying down. And I'm really happy with that. That is that job finished. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that floor is going to hold down nicely. The stuff I did yesterday is still sticking well, hasn't tried to lift itself back up. So the things I did today, I'll leave some heavy weights on them and come back midweek and check to see how that's all going. And then that's it for the Merlin for a little while until I get the radiator back. Don't know how long that's going to take. I'll do a video of putting that back in. It's fairly straightforward, but then I can at least start the thing and move it around again. Something I do need help with though, you UK guys, if you know, I don't know what's going on, but the bus won't start from the starter button on the instrument panel, on the dash. There's not even a click. Probably got something to do with master relay somewhere. I don't know where to start looking. I've had to wire a button up in the engine bay straight off the battery to the starter just to get it running. So if you can help. The doors also, there's something going on, and I think it might all be related somehow. The doors will open, they will close, but then when I lift my finger off the close button, they open again. Don't know what to do, don't know where to start. If you can help, at least send me in the right direction, leave a comment. I'd much appreciate it. Thank you very much. And that's about it. The little magpie friend here, off camera, you can't see him. As you can see, LindaLoveLaser there, trying her best to fill in that big bus-sized hole. Not doing a good job though, she's a little bit small. I want to fill that bus-sized hole with a big bus, and we're on track to do that in a couple of weeks. Ordered the tyres yesterday. We've got to go up there into the Hunter Valley, put some tyres on it, fix up the leaking fuel pump, and drive it. We're going to drive it back down to Sydney. So I'll do a video on that, and then I want to do a pressure washer video, a clean video. I love those ones when people do that on YouTube because it's filthy. It's been sitting under gum trees for about 3 years. So looking forward to doing that. So that'll probably be my next video in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this one. I really do hope you enjoy my channel, and I appreciate you watching. I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe and press like and click the bell and do all that YouTube stuff as well. And until next time, thanks again for watching. Cheers. I'll see you soon on Steve Stuff. Oh man, that's good. Ooh.